questions. They are questions of faith. And those are the ones that we are called to respond to. The other sense of the call is people bringing one another, inviting others, come and see. The sense that once you begin a pilgrimage and the organization of it, there's a certain energy that takes over among people as they pose questions and as they invite other people to consider this pilgrimage. And we continue to use, we have a tendency sometimes to lapse into the word trip. Well, it is a trip, of course, and it will be, but this is a pilgrimage. And in a pilgrimage, our orientation is everything that I have been speaking about. They found Philip, Philip found Nathanael, and they said, come and see. And truly, the promise that is made to you, you will see. You will see Jesus Christ. You will see the opening in the heavens. This happens to all in our own ways, and sometimes in very unexpected ways. But we are open to it. I suppose we begin this particular challenge with more this time of this particular pilgrimage with more of a challenge to be contemplative there in our the last pilgrimage that we went on. We promised them we would see everything, and we did. And the consequence of that is when you try to do that, you get busy. But within the structure of trying to see all the sights that we want to see, it is possible, and it will be possible for us to spend some moments in prayer together. One way as an individual that I feel more challenged than before is to maybe to be more responsive to people who at the end of a day and faced with another time might want to say, well, I want to stay on the bus. Now, previously it was, okay, you can stay in the bus if you want, and you can do whatever you want there. No, that's not a good response. And I realized the last time that is not a good response. So if a person, has at the end of a long day wants to stay on the bus, I'll remain with you because I know the places. I love them. And they're part of it's the town I visit every day almost in one way or another. And certainly as we have done during Advent and Christmas. So we know the terrain, and I do. So I think it's a wonderful time for us, if that becomes necessary for a person, then we stay on the bus. I remember one time when we were on one pilgrimage, we got to Mount Nebo, and that's the place where Moses saw the Holy Land. And everybody was quite enthused about wanting to go and see Mount Nebo. We don't go into Jordan. Those are other reasons. But this one time we did. And so I and another woman who felt, we stayed in the bus. We spent all the time interceding for people. That remains in my moment. Those moments of intercession remain for me now as something that I treasure. I treasure very much. We both do, because whenever I meet her, we talk about it. So there is that challenge that faces us, and we're listening to other chaplains and priests. How do they handle it? So we will work on that contemplative dimension, the personal one, and also the other is the intercessory one. You go as intercessors. And I invite you to start putting together names of people that you want to pray for. And people will come to you. And it's good for you at this point to give witness to the fact that you're going on pilgrimage. Because once you do, then people will ask you to pray for them. And you will carry their names with you. Now you say, well, I might not get time. No, you don't get that much time. Certainly in the Holy Land, you don't. But what you can do, and what I always do, and it's a deep blessing, is I carry names with me. I carry them with me. And at a certain point, I know then when to entrust them. The last time I did that, I wrote names down. I carried them with me wherever I went. You know, when I was at Mass or celebrating Mass, I had their names on my person. And then at a certain point, then the Lord said, you can leave their names here. That time for me was when we went to the house of Joachim and Anne. That came toward the end. And the Lord said, you can leave the names here. And I did. And it meant so much to be able to tell people, I prayed for you. And at the end, this is where I placed your names. I can't tell you how much that means to people. As I said, I don't promise them that I'll be mentioning their names all the time, or the meek, all the different ones. And he said, that, of course, on a pilgrimage, you do begin that way. You know, you're tired perhaps, or disoriented, or whatever happens to pilgrims getting from one place to another. And anyway, I've said all that I want to. I look forward to this very much. And I look forward to other gatherings that we might have as well, because I think in a very special way, Jesus has singled us out to be part of this pilgrim this year.
Thank you, Father. I know we're losing the mic. They were fixing this live stream, and I hear now the picture is good, the sound is good, and they see the picture next to the speaker. So good job, you guys. What Father Amen said is absolutely true. Of the people that just came back in October, the highlight was where they had Mass. Now, ours might be similar or slightly different, but they had Mass in the Garden of Gethsemane. They had Mass, was it where Jesus was killed? The Holy Sepulchre. Oh. They had Mass at the wedding of Cana. And then the couple invited, married couples were invited to renew their wedding vows during that Mass. That's what some of those pictures where you see the husband and the wife at each other. You have Mass daily, thanks to us having Father Amen and Anton's company. They have another company they use there, and they make sure that we have these places to have Mass. Last time we had several deacons with us. I didn't get to go. We had several deacons, so there was a deacon at the altar. There were two priests and two groups of people, but there was a deacon at the altar each time. And so they were serving the priest in spectacular places. So yes, us being Catholics, it's very powerful. We have a repeat. Somebody who was with us in October is going again with us. That shows it's very exciting. Next, I would like to bring up Anton Sala from Adriatic, and he's going to talk a little bit about this. He's actually from Jerusalem, and his wife is from Haifa, right? Haifa. Okay. Anyway, here's Anton.
Come and see. My last trip was in November 27, just over a month ago. Although I lived in about 38 years in Jerusalem before moving to United States, but still I go every year, more than once. But at this age, I try to go only once a year. But come and see. And every time I go, it is new to me. I feel the presence of the Lord in every place. I feel spiritually enriched and enlightened. Okay, it's all right. I'm a Bible reader. I love to read the Bible every day, at least one chapter. And every time I read the Bible, I can relate the place where Jesus was speaking to the people, whether it is in Capernaum or when he spoke to the Samaritan woman, at the well, whether on the Mount of Olives, the Garden of Gethsemane. So I relate to those places, you know. As my friend Kim and father, they had a trip in October, and this new trip is the result of the other one because it was fully booked with over 80 passengers. 80 people went, and everybody was very happy. I don't want to say much, you know, but I mean, you are going to visit all the most interesting places related to the life of Jesus from the time he was born, from the Annunciation in Bethlehem, the place where he was born, until he ministered in the old city of Jerusalem, and then went to Mount of Olives, and he went up to meet the Father. It is very enriching trip, you know. We don't miss anything, you know, and Father can witness to that, that we cover every little thing, you know. And the Bible, I mean, the Mass, the daily Mass it is very important part of the pilgrimage, you know. And we try to book places like the Garden of Gethsemane, which is very special place, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Cana, Mount Beatitude, Bethlehem, the Shepherd's Field, all those places. So when you go and attend that Mass, you feel the Spirit of God is talking to you. It is very interesting trip. It is not only related to Christianity and Jesus, but we visit places like Caesarea, which is a Roman city, you know. I was wondering yesterday, I said, you know, this is a small country. You know, you can go from one end to the other in 4 hours. And these small countries have the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, the Sea of Galilee, and the Mediterranean Sea. It is all compound. It is very rich in history, archaeology. Wherever you go, there is history, there's something to see. We are facing a lot of demand these days. You know, it's unbelievable. I already have groups leaving starting in February until the end of the year. The flights are fully booked, the hotels are booked. We are finding difficulty in securing good flights, but praise the Lord that the Lord impressed on my heart and we booked the non-stop flight for you. You leave from Los Angeles, you arrive Tel Aviv. It is 14 hours flight on the Israeli Airlines, you know. The timing is good because it leaves around noon, so you can go to the airport at 8, 8:30, take the flight. You arrive Tel Aviv early afternoon, where we go to have Mass in Old Jaffa, spend the night in Tel Aviv area, and from there we go to the north of the country, the Sea of Galilee and Nazareth. At the end, we stay in Bethlehem at the Ambassador Hotel. We book four-star hotels, good four-star hotels, you know, and Father can see that what we booked was very good hotels. You know, we have no complaint whatsoever. Private facilities, everything is there, you know. The food is buffet breakfast, buffet dinner, you know, it is the country of milk and honey, you know. When when they want to spy the land, you know, they went to the area near Hebron, you know, and they came back with a bunch of grapes, you know, it was so big. I mean, the fruits are very good, the vegetables are very good, you know, and you are going to enjoy every morning buffet breakfast and evening buffet dinner. During lunch, you know, they will stop someplace, you can have something simple, a sandwich, or you can have some fruits. And this time, Father, we are arranging a farewell dinner with the traditional Mediterranean or Jerusalem meal, you know. This is the day before you leave. The good part about losing the Israeli Airlines, Al Al, because it leaves at 12:30 in the morning. It's not at 5 o'clock like other airlines or 4 o'clock. It is 12:30. This means the day before you visit, you come early to the hotel, you can relax and rest, have dinner, then go to the airport. And your arrival flight here at 6 o'clock in the morning. When I came at 6 o'clock last December, the 7th of December, I was surprised. There was nobody at the airport. Immigration was empty. It did not take me a minute to get through the immigration and then go and get my luggage. It is very interesting trip, and we have good guys, good drivers. In fact, they ask for a certain guide and a certain driver, and we were able to get them for your group as well. The demand is great to the visit to the Holy Land, and the time is now, not tomorrow, not next year. This is the time to go to the Holy Land. Please prepare yourself for a wonderful trip. We use four-star hotels, good four-star hotels. I don't want to mention the names of the hotels because I don't remember which hotels I have booked for you. I am sorry. But they are similar to the ones we used for the last group. Just get ready. You can go travel the same way you dress this evening, but it is not going to be cold. The weather in Jerusalem, it will be in the 70s. Around the Sea of Galilee, maybe it's 75. You go down to Jericho, maybe it is 75 or 80, but nothing cold. This week, it was very cold in Jerusalem. I still have a sister, she's 86 years old, still living in Jerusalem. And she tells me it has been cold the last few days. But this is the coldest weather in Israel. It is the month of January, really is very cold. You can dress the way you're dressing now, without the coat, without anything. And women can go by shorts, the men, if you like, the women by pants. And don't pack a lot, take just something you want to use, for the few days. And you have to keep some space because you may do some shopping there. Americans, they cannot resist buying things, so so you will have the opportunity to do shopping. I don't want to say more. If you have any question, please let me ask me and let me know. I have been doing this all my life. When I was in Jerusalem, I was working in the travel industry, and now in California for the last 30 years, I am doing pilgrimages, not only to the Holy Land, to all Europe, Fatima, Rouge, Italy, Spain, France, Eastern Europe, Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, Egypt, Jordan, Mount Nebo, and Turkey and Greece, all those places. And this is a blessing, and I am privileged that God allows me to do those pilgrimages.
Is this mic on? It is. Does
It's
anybody
good.
have any questions for Anton? Yes.
Can you give us an idea of what the itinerary is like? Like, what time do you start in the morning? Are there things in the evening? How does the day?
Usually we have a wake-up call at 6, to have breakfast at 7, and then after breakfast by 8 o'clock you are on the bus to leave. You come back to the hotel around 5, so you can go to your rooms, refresh, and come down to have or up to have your dinner around 7 o'clock in the evening. Although you'd be traveling, visiting all day long, but I mean, the guide knows that you need some time on your own to rest, or to do some shopping. So they are aware of your needs also to go to the toilets, for whatever it is necessary. Yes, sir.
You talked about the daytime temperatures. What about the evening or
The
early
evening,
morning?
it is the same thing. It is May. The coolest place will be Jerusalem and Bethlehem. I mean, and maybe it is 65 at night, but during the day in the 70s.
Is there any new COVID requirements?
No more, no more, no more. There's no need to have a test before you leave or before you come back. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no, I'll be right back.
Excuse me, is there a dress code of some sort when you're visiting?
Dress code?
Yes.
The way you are dressing now will be good. Whatever, you can go by pants as long as it is decent. Whenever you come to mass here, you have to be dressed decently. But pants are okay. You have to be comfortable.
So Anton mentioned that we picked a specific tour guide. We did. There were two that our group had. One was a biblical scholar. So they would do their normal tour, but this guy would tell you something specific about the Bible that just brought them closer to it and made it more special. He wasn't available, and now he is, so we have Michel, that's his name.
When I was in Jerusalem in late November, early December, I had 6 buses, we have 250 people, and the tour guide was with us, and I found out that he is related to me. His grandmother is my cousin. Go ahead.
I realize you don't know yet how many here are going, but do you combine groups, or is there kind of a set amount of people you expect or don't have more than, or can you give me some idea of?
We got tickets for 48, so we will have up to 48.
Okay.
We are not going to expand this.
Okay, and it's just this group.
I'll say that, so I know you want to hear, you want to hear. Okay. So for live stream, we have 48 spots. We are not expanding this particular pilgrimage like we did the last one, okay? So there will be no more than 48. Sorry, sure.
Do you stay at one hotel for more than one night, or are you constantly moving?
The only place you spend one night is in Tel Aviv. Because you arrive there, and we go to church to have mass and you spend the night, and then you spend 3 nights in one hotel in the north, and the other 4 or 5 nights will be in Bethlehem.
So the 3 nights are in Nazareth after Tel Aviv. Did somebody else have a question? Rick wants to know if we can go now. Anton, there's one deacon, Deacon Rick Torres.
This trip in May, it is improvement on the one you did in October. We are spending extra time, extra night in the north, so you can visit and see new places, and it's more relaxed. And we have additional places to visit, like Samaria, and that area. We added few places extra.
Okay, if you want to reserve your spot tonight, we can take your registration form. It's connected to your brochure. Due now or when you can is $350 per person to hold your spot. It's a registration fee. I passed out your Travelex insurance. Usually in Italy, that insurance is optional. For the country, it's not an option. They require the travelers to have insurance. You can purchase your, like we use them.
We highly recommend that because, we have somebody becomes sick in the family, father, mother, husband, or some death in the family and they cannot travel. So whatever they pay, they will be refunded back to them by the
They refund
insurance.
them. Does it cover COVID? The insurance?
They
Well, it did because
They did.
Deacon Bill got
They
it,
did.
yeah.
During the COVID, we have the Passion Play in Germany. We have 2,750 people who went to the Passion Play in Germany. And one nun, poor nun, became sick with COVID, and she was close to Vienna. So after the hotel, we found a priest. He's Filipino priest living in Vienna. He took her to stay in the convent until she recovered, and then we arranged her back trip from Vienna back to Los Angeles.
So
And the
we didn't
insurance
get to
paid
go.
everything.
Yeah.
For
We
the
did-
flights, everything, yeah.
It does. We didn't get to go in October because the night before Deacon Bill got COVID. So our whole pilgrimage went without us, and yes, Deacon Joe went along. So yes, it's going to cover COVID. Any other questions for Anton?
When I got married, I was 23 years old, young, and I had a beautiful wife, and we've been married since 66. So you can do the counting, And I lived on the mount, in the middle of the Mount of Olives. From my house or from my room, I could see the old city, And I remember that Jesus saw it and wept because of their unbelief and because of rejecting him, as the Son of God, the Messiah, the promised one from God. Last time I was in November, I said, "Oh, I want to go to Jericho. I mean, to have lunch. It is one of my good places to have lunch in Jericho. I don't know if you remember, Father. We take them. You have Jericho. By the way, Jericho is not far from Jerusalem to Jericho. Is less than 40 minutes. You go down, 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 down. You remember when Jesus said the parable that was a man was going down to Jericho and he was attacked by thieves, and he was wounded. And this rabbi, the Jewish leader, came by and he just passed by. Another religious person passed by, and then somebody, a Samaritan, which was a enemy of the Jews, he took him, put him in a hotel, and took care of him. And this is on the way to Jericho. So Jericho, you go down. You are 3,000 feet above sea level. You go to 700 feet below sea level. And in the winter, it is nice and warm, and it is famous for its fruits and vegetables, especially the oranges, the best oranges in the world, better than California. The taste. Well, if you have any more questions, you can always ask later. I mean, on the flyer, we have our phone number. I will assign a lady by the name of Sherry to take care of this group. She will receive your booking. She will send you an invoice, and update you. Yes, ma'am. No, no, it is El Al. It is the Israeli Airlines. Lufthansa, they went via Frankfurt. Yeah. But this time it is more expensive, El Al. It is $300 more than the Lufthansa, but we did it for the convenience. The convenience, it is non-stop. You go, sit on your seat, have dinner, go to sleep, and wake up in Tel Aviv. It is very, very, very nice flight, really, very convenient flight. Well, God bless you all. Before you go, read the Bible, especially the Gospels, I mean, so you can relate to what you are going to see. And one of the places they have fun is the sailing on the Sea of Galilee, on that boat. I see people singing and remembering Jesus, he did the same thing. He was fishing in the Sea of Galilee, and we stop in a place for those who want to eat fish. They call it St. Peter's fish, but it is called St. Peter's fish, but we don't know what was at St. Peter, but this one is different. But the salads are good, beautiful. God bless you. Enjoy your trip and bring back many memories. It seems that we still have few seats left, so you can invite your friends and relatives to come and join us. God bless you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have refreshments. You're welcome to ask questions myself, Father Anton. Also, I'm going to volunteer you, Karen. Karen Murphy in the back just got back from our October pilgrimage, and she's going again. She's bringing her two daughters, so she can tell you how it was. I don't remember which bus you were on. Were you on with Michelle? Oh, so yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Anyway, feel free to mingle, and if you would like to register tonight, I will take the checks and the registration form for Anton. And any questions? Yes? On the back of your, that's a good question. Ron asked if they don't register tonight, how do you get it to us? On the back of your pamphlet, there's an address for Adriatic Pilgrimages. You make your check out to Adriatic Pilgrimages. I used to know it by heart. I don't know if it's 222 or 666, but it's San Pedro. You mail it, but put Anton's name or Sherry Obanda on it. Also, on your check, there are some numbers on there you need to put. One of them is, I think it's YH23. So that's, or it's HY23. I'll show you. I'll come down and show you. You also put my ID number. It starts with a 6. It's 5 numbers. I think it's 64804 or something. You put those on your memo line of the check. They will tie you to our pilgrimage, okay? I'll come down and answer questions.